I tried DIY contrast therapy every night for 1 week, and the results changed my life. All right, friends, I'm so happy that you are joining me on my road to 50. I have 8 months to go until the big birthday, and I honestly cannot think of better travel companions. So, as you guys probably know, since my late 20s, I have been on this ongoing, off and on journey to optimize my health. But for the last 15 to 20 years, I've been really locked in and now, of course, more than ever. So, over the years, I have learned all about contrast therapy, which has been very trendy over the past 4 to 5 years. Now, what is it? Well, it is essentially the alternating of extreme hot and extreme cold exposure. But I didn't want to spend thousands of dollars on a fancy sauna or a cold plunge. So I decided to test out a totally DIY version at home every night for a full week. And let me tell you, the results were insane. Among them was immediately more energy, better sleep, faster recovery. And if you've done my workouts, you know they are very challenging. So recovery speed is key. By week 2, I was actually so hooked that I started meditating in the cold plunge so that I could uplevel my time and stay in there a little bit longer each day. By week 3, and yes, I did continue it to week 3, I was actually habit stacking and making this an integral part of my evening routine. I was practicing gratitude, reading, and even listening to my French lessons with a waterproof speaker in the sauna, maximizing the impact and really laying the groundwork for a great night's sleep, which, as we know, sets the tone for an amazing day tomorrow. On today's episode, I am breaking down exactly how you can do contrast therapy at home and also why doing it at night is an up-leveled game changer and the science behind why I will never stop doing this new and improved evening routine. If you're ready, let's dive right in. No cold plunge pun intended. So here is the evening edition of your DIY contrast therapy. So I made this routine a part of my evening wind down, which is actually the best time for contrast therapy. Why? Well, first and foremost, it's actually been scientifically proven to calm your nervous system before bed. Hello, deeper sleep. And if you wear a Whoop like I do and you can track your sleep analytics, it's not just about how long you're in bed. It's not even just about how long you sleep. It's about the quality and different depths of your sleep. Another thing that this contrast therapy does when implemented in the evening is it can actually reduce evening stress hormones so you don't go to bed wired. And I don't know about you, but sometimes the days can really pile up. And in the evenings, I feel like almost a wired sense of energy that doesn't feel authentic and kind of brings me out of my best self. So I found this practice immediately helps. It also kickstarts overnight recovery so that you wake up actually feeling refreshed. So I know this sounds daunting. When someone first suggested that I douse my entire body in freezing cold Arctic water, I was like, you've got to be crazy. Nothing is worth that. But it turns out that it actually is. We just have to ease our way in. So let's begin with the beginner way to start. The easiest way, the most accessible, and you don't need anything other than you hopefully have now. All you need is a shower and about 6 to 7 minutes. So here is what I did day 1 to kick off this journey. You start with a regular shower, right? I want you to lift that water temperature as high as it goes, as hot as you can handle. I did this for about 2 to 3 minutes. This helps relax the muscles. And while it does take a little adjustment as the water warms up, this part actually felt pretty good, right? Restorative, nurturing. The next part, not so much. So after that 3 minutes, you flip it to cold. And I mean, freezing cold, like all the way to the left of your dial for 30 to 60 seconds if you can. Yes, this is going to shock your body at first and actually feels incredibly uncomfortable. This is the point. Don't put pressure on yourself to make it 60 seconds your very first time. If you last 10 seconds, great. If you can stomach 30 to 60 seconds, give that a go. And I want you to repeat this for 3 to 4 rounds. The key, insider tip, you always have to finish on cold. And this is because a lot of the benefits come from your body reacclimating to its normal temperature. So here's why this works. The hot water expands your blood vessels and boosts your circulation. This helps you release the tension from your day. Right after that, from the hottest point, the cold water then forces your body to adapt. This helps your nervous system become more resilient to stress. And at the end of the day, that is what we want, right? We want to empower our parasympathetic nervous system. This is huge for better sleep. Another thing cold exposure does, if you need more motivation, and let's be honest, we do, is it triggers the production of norepinephrine. Now, this is a neurotransmitter that can help with focus, mood, and lowering your stress hormones like cortisol. So there are a lot of advantages. So think of this in your 20th to 30 seconds in that freezing cold water. And now here's a little bonus for women over 40. Guess what the best evening cold plunge or cold shower temperature is? It's actually 50 to 59 degrees. This is cold enough to trigger the benefits without overstressing your body before sleep. This is significantly higher than traditional male cold plunges, which can level out at the bottom at around 40 degrees. These are important things to know. Give it a try. I want to hear how it goes. Night 1, night 2, night 3. You've got this. Okay. So after a few nights, I personally wanted to take it up a notch and I wanted to get creative. So I'm going to share with you what I did. So most of us, again, we don't have a sauna at home. That's great. It's no problem. The hot cold shower works amazingly. But if you want a DIY sauna alternative and you can be safe. So I have a space heater and I put it a fair and safe distance away from my bathtub in the bathroom to create a sauna-like effect. Now, I ran mine at high, which goes up to about 92 degrees. I also ran a hot bath and I let the steam build up in the room. So after that happened, I got in the bath, which, let's be honest, is epic self-care, right? And I stayed in the bath for 20 minutes. If you can do 15 to 20, that is awesome. This allowed me to fully relax my muscles and prep my body for a really nice deep sleep. Now, bonus, if you want to add some Epsom salts there, also a great help. And then what did I do for the up-leveled DIY cold plunge? Well, if you have a second bathroom, as many of you might, great. I don't. So I bought a tub and you can find one online for under $100. And I keep it outside, just outside our patio, but you can keep it in your garage. Whatever apparatus you choose, a second bathtub or a tub, fill it with cold water and ice. You want to aim for, again, about 55 degrees. Now you can get a floating thermometer for less than $20 almost anywhere online. And that is what I do. So my cold plunge is an ice bath that costs right around $110 total. So I started with 1 to 2 minutes in this ice bath. And then I built up to 4 to 5 minutes over the week. I know it sounds absolutely insane. Breath work was key. I focused on long exhales to stay calm. And I have my affirmation meditation series, and I chose I am resilient because I'm making my nervous system biologically more resilient. And that meditation is about 4.5 minutes. So it pairs perfectly with your goal. So why does this work? This DIY sauna, DIY cold plunge? Well, it actually helps to repair damaged cells overnight. Okay, the heat therapy, we know why that's good. And the cold actually activates brown fat, which burns calories and helps regulate metabolism while you sleep. So does this sound counterintuitive? Fat helping your metabolism? Yes. Okay, brown fat or brown adipose tissue, sometimes abbreviated as BAT, BAT. It's a specialized type of fat that actually burns calories to generate heat, helping to regulate our body temperature, right? Unlike white fat, which is what we traditionally think of as fat, which stores energy, brown fat is rich in mitochondria, right? The energy center of our cells, and it is activated by cold exposure, right? It plays an epic role in metabolism, insulin sensitivity, and longevity. Now, I love doing this in the evening because it helps curb my appetite, which prevents me from late night snacking that I might otherwise be prone to do. And it boosts my metabolism for optimal fat burning overnight. Also, our nervous system resets from this hot and cold exposure, which actually makes it easier to fall into a deeper, higher quality sleep. Okay, so that takes us up through week 1 and week 2, right? So coming up on week 2 now. So that takes us through week 1. Now, by the time I'm rolling into my second week, I wasn't just tolerating and powering through the cold plunge. I was actually enjoying the process of it. Okay. I won't say I quite looked forward to it yet, but I enjoyed it when I was there. So I started adding habits to make it even more powerful. So here's how I up-leveled my cold plunge week 2. I started again doing those IM meditations while I was in the ice bath. Now, previously, 4 to 5 minutes would have felt impossible, but since I started that at the end of week 1, I was actually even more deeply present in the meditations, if you can believe that, though that would have seemed impossible day 1, where you might be. And then my sauna, right? I would bring a book to read for the full 20-minute session. This helped make the time go by quicker and feel a bit more effortless. You want to get into your sauna if you're doing that, or your makeshift bathtub DIY sauna, and allow that space to enjoy. Here's some more science for you. Meditating in the cold plunge actually teaches your brain to handle stress better, which actually reduces nighttime anxiety. The heat exposure actually boosts our growth hormone, especially important for women over 40, and it can do that by up to 500%. 500% growth hormone boost. This supports your muscle repair while you sleep. So when we optimize our body, just like we want our money to work for us while we sleep with good investments, we want our body to optimize while we sleep with good investments of our time. So now I'm in habit stacking mode for week 3, and my longevity optimization is on. Okay. Coming into week 3, I was so into this that I started layering on even more habits because this was becoming a highly anticipated part of my evening routine before the contrast therapy. I took a break from my day, I unplugged, and I played with my dogs, right? This naturally raises endorphins. Puppy snuggles are known to be good for us. It also, because it involves running around after my dogs, actually helped boost my cardio too before plunging. So in the cold plunge, I did breath work and I added gratitude lists, because if we can practice gratitude for things that are difficult, aka the cold plunge, it makes it a lot easier to be thankful for things that we actually love to do. And this practice was becoming that for me. And then in the sauna, I would actually practice my French lessons. So I have these 20-minute audio lessons. So I invested in a waterproof speaker and actually put it in a Ziploc bag because I'm a little bit type A about that. But this actually helps for multiple reasons. Did you know that while you're in the sauna, you're actually increasing BDNF? This is brain-derived neurotrophic factor. What that does is it actually can help us boost our brain function, which is a perfect time to study and create neuroplasticity, study French, read a book, learn something new, because you're actually primed to do that. Movement before cold plunging, like playing with my dogs, mimics ancient survival patterns, making your body even better at adapting. And then, of course, we get back to the gratitude and breath work in the cold water that not only helps our lifestyle and our approach to our days, but actually shifts us into parasympathetic mode. This sets us up again for the best sleep ever. And one of the first things I noticed after really one day was incredible sleep scores popping up on my Whoop. Learning in the sauna, genius, right? As I mentioned, the heat supercharges our neuroplasticity, which means we actually absorb and retain new information. So the evening benefits of this practice were insane. I just listed a bunch of sciencey stuff, but beyond that, it provided a buffer between my work day and my family life. So at the end of week 3, this was a perfect way to segue out of being on, shooting, creating content, doing emails, to creating intentional time with my family. I also noticed that I fell asleep faster because my body knew that it was time to rest, a cognitive awareness. I also had deeper, more restorative sleep, much less tossing and turning overnight, which if you're in your late 40s, approaching 50s, that is a big thing. The other thing is it reduced stress before bed. So I didn't take any tension or stress or anxiety from my day into my evening. Work was shut off, family time was awakened. And I woke up with more energy, no more grogginess, no more brain fog. So the recovery really felt next level, not just from a science, biohacking, biological level, but for my family life as well. The best part about all of this is that level one is free, right? You don't need a 5K cold plunge. You don't need an expensive sauna. You just need a shower with some hot and cold water. Okay. And then if you up level to that bathtub, maybe that it becomes so much a part of your life, you invest in higher levels. But for now, you can get all of the benefits with whatever you're working with at the moment. I guess my final thoughts on this. Would I keep doing it? 100% yes. I know because I am already looking forward to my evening routine with my contrast therapy. And I know for you, if you can get through that first 10 seconds in the first cold shower moment, you are going to start to set a consistency and a discipline that then becomes a love, that then becomes something you're really excited about, right? When we start small and we create a routine and we create small habits, they then turn into our lifestyle. And if you want to fully optimize this evening habit, you can start habit stacking like I did. What are your favorite wind down activities that you can do on either side of this contrast therapy? Now it's your turn. I want to know, have you ever tried this? Is this something that sounds outlandishly undoable for you? Or are you excited to start tonight? Drop a comment below and let me know. And if you want more science backed longevity hacks, don't forget to like and subscribe. I've got tons more coming. And here's the deal, guys, all of these are designed to uplevel your life. So whether you try this, 10 seconds in a cold plunge, 1 minute in a hot shower, consider it success, right? We start small, we continue growing, and together we progress to our longest and healthiest life ever. I'll see you guys next time.